Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to the Morale Booster Podcast. I am Dr. John Ugulu, your host. In this season of From Idea to Impact, we will be navigating the journey of an author. We will dive deep into the creative process, the challenges, and the triumphs that come with bringing a book to life. In this episode, we are thrilled to welcome our guest, Dr. Derrick Standifer. He is the author of Life is Like a Rubik's Cube. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's embark on this inspiring journey together. And if you are just joining us for the very first time, I want to say welcome to you. And I want to encourage you to please like and share this broadcast. And here's the reason why I typically encourage you to share it. It's because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message we will be talking about today. So, Dr. Standifer is a dynamic presenter with an incredible story that has been featured on several ABC affiliate networks, numerous blogs, podcasts, and other publications. His journey of being a two-time college dropout to earning a PhD is only part of it. What truly demonstrates his resilience and dedication is achieving this feat while being a full-time single father to academically gifted babies. In addition, both of his parents died from cancer, but instead of breaking, he broke through, took that pain, turned it into power, and now he shares his message across the world to teach others how to solve the twists and turns of life. Now, Derrick's platform offers more than just strategies for overcoming life challenges. They are a testament to the power of persistence, resilience, and the ability to turn obstacles into opportunities. His five-step approach is specially designed to help young professionals and students unlock their full potential and enhance their academic and personal lives using practical and easily implementable skills. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please join me as I welcome to the stage, to the Morale Booster platform, Dr. Derrick Standifer. Derrick, welcome to the show.
Dr. John, thank you for this beautiful opportunity to serve. I'm grateful for this platform. I'm excited to share how I've been able to navigate the twists and turns of life with your audience. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
God bless you, and you're doing a fantastic work, and I know, in fact, I don't need to tell you to keep it up. I know you will keep it up. You will keep shining your light. With good health, God will definitely grant you everything that you need to transition from where you are to where you want to be. Thank you once again for joining us on this platform.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, thank you for the opportunity to serve. I'm excited, super excited. I've saw some of your episodes, and I'm excited to join the team.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much. Now, your book is titled "Life is Like a Rubik's Cube."
Correct.
Can
Yes,
you
sir.
please tell us a little about that book? What
So,
can my audience know about that book that will be beneficial to them?
so I actually wrote this book as an autobiography. to tell the story of me growing up as a product of a single parent, low socioeconomic statuses, the first one in my family to graduate from high school. And I flunked out. I went to FAMU, went to Florida A&M, flunked out, went to Georgia State, flunked out, got the lowest GPA in Georgia State history. And then I went through this process of renewing my mind. And I was listening to motivational messages on a daily basis. And I was training my brain for success. Then I went back to school and got laser focused, got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree. And by the grace of God, I earned a PhD. And I did it as a full-time single father, two beautifully troubled, despite losing both of my parents to cancer. And then I put this concept in this book called Life is Like a Rubik's Cube, because I realized that most people think that it takes a genius to solve a Rubik's Cube. And I think that's true, right? But everybody has a genius inside of them, and we just got to learn how to tap into it. So I want to simplify that Rubik's Cube and how to solve it inside of us.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And guess what? Your story resonates with me because um, that's also my story.
Mm.
But I dropped out of college once, right? At first, I was studying mechanical engineering, and at some point, due to youthful exuberance, mine was due to
Mm.
youthful exuberance. I felt the grass was greener on the other side. I wanted to go make money and be wealthy. So I felt school wasn't necessary. So I dropped out from mechanical engineering. But later on, when I realized that I wasn't going towards the right direction, I
Mhm.
had to retrace my step. So I also was a dropout at some point, went back to school, got my bachelor's in computer science, a master's in entrepreneurship, and a PhD in entrepreneurship. So your story, it resonates with me
Mhm.
completely, from a dropout to a PhD. And thank you for not giving up.
Yeah, man. Sometimes we have to hit rock bottom to have a strong foundation to build upon. And once we fail at life, I think most people don't want to fail at life. And I think failure is the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me. It made me realize what I was missing out on. And sometimes we learn from our failures and we can do it the right way.
I completely agree with you on that. A wise person once said, failure activates the creativity in us.
Mm.
Failure is a sign of work in progress. So when you are getting the task done, it is expected that failure would come in at some point. Yeah, but the ability for us to see it as an opportunity to grow and to learn is what matters. And that's what you did. You took yours as a downward spiral, used it to bounce back up to the highest level of education, academia, and that's it. So thank you so much once again for not giving up. And there's so many people who are listening to us right now who are at that rock bottom, who are about to give up. This podcast is for you. So please do not give up. Keep listening to what we have to say. Keep listening to the message that Dr. Standifer will share, because you will learn something definitely from this message. So we're still live with Dr. Standifer. Where can people get your book? Where can it be purchased from?
So currently, Life is Like a Rubik's Cube is on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble. You can reach out to me directly, and I always keep copies on me as well. Then I will personally autograph those books. But Amazon, Barnes and Noble, reaching out to me are common ways. Most times I
Mm,
sell my books when I do keynote speeches. I deliver a
right.
keynote speech
Mm,
associated with the book. I'm delivering a speech at the Crown Ravinia for Georgia's Technical Leadership Conference this Friday and Saturday, and they'll
mm.
be getting copies of my book as well there. So
Oh, okay, great. Good to know that. So, how were you able to, navigate the whole process of going back to school, raising, a child, and how, what made it possible for you?
man, so I think it was just this desire to make my mentors proud. Once when mentors they pour into you, it's something about wanting to make somebody proud. You would move mountains to make people proud, right? And going back, it started with the renewing of my mind. I had to renew my mind, and that meant training my brain for success. So one thing that I did was stop listening to music, and I was listening to motivational messages every single day on a daily basis. And I stopped referring to my alarm clock as an alarm clock. I started to refer to my alarm clock as an opportunity clock. And I said a motivational speech to my opportunity clock, and it woke me up every day to Les Brown. It's not over until you win. And when you have motivational messages brainwashing your brain, you have no choice but to work towards every day towards being successful. So it started with the renewing of my mind, then the renewing of my environment. I started to hang around successful people. I started to sit on the front row in every class because the people who were getting straight A's were sitting on the front row. I started to go to my professor's office early. Like the first day of school, I was introducing myself to my professor. And most people wait until the end of the semester to go talk to their teacher. So I just started implementing these small, minute changes, and doors started opening. It's crazy when you start setting goals. It's almost like a magnet. You start to attract the things that you want.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. Renewing of the mind. You talked about um, strategies like you stopped listening to music. So basically, you stopped listening to the things that were not beneficial to your personal development.
Mm.
Is that correct?
Correct. I mean, that's TV.
Yeah.
That's we have these things on our smartphones called screen time.
Hmm.
And once I evaluated my screen time, I realized that most people our ages, most people in my age bracket, they spend 8+ hours a day on their cell phones, on social media apps, or wasting time. And I told myself, we need to develop a healthy balance between educating ourselves and entertaining ourselves. We need to have a healthy balance. There's nothing wrong with entertaining yourself, but if you're entertaining yourself solely and there's no education and there's no implementation of the knowledge, then something is wrong. So I told myself, I need to start committing daily disciplines, spending time every single day working towards my goals because I'm nowhere near where I want to be at in life. So I have to hustle. I have to put that grit and that grind and that commitment and that focused energy into chasing what I want to achieve.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. See, most of what you said right now actually resonates with me because that's me. You know, when I'm driving, my car is a moving classroom.
Hmm.
Because when my kids are in my car or when anyone is in my car, they don't hear music. I don't play music. I listen to motivational speakers, all my mentors, all of them. And I have come to realize that it is very powerful, very helpful. And have you noticed one trend lately that too many people um they have developed a mindset that motivational speakers are scammers. Like they tell you things that are not possible. And for
Hmm.
that reason, they don't listen to them. I've heard people say, hey, motivational speakers are scammers. They
Hmm.
tell you things that are not possible. And when we have too many people not knowing the importance of renewing of the mind through motivational speaking, it becomes a problem. So, what can we do? What are you doing right now on your part to help people understand the importance of motivational messages?
So now we're in this space where we have these things. We have this concept called edutainment. Right now we're in this space where everybody has short attention spans, and if it's slightly boring, it's not going to get paid attention to. So you know, YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, they make motivational speeches very entertaining now. So you can add that entertainment element to them to make them appeasing to watch. But two, for the people who are skeptical of their motivational speakers, I encourage you to find one person that you just rock with, that you're just solid with. For me, early in my journey, it was Les Brown. I listened to Les Brown because he was very relatable to me. I understood that rags to riches type of concept. So Les Brown was the guy that I rocked with. He's my GOAT, my greatest of all time speaker. And then I started to diversify my listening repertoire, my listening library, and I started listening to people like who provided very practical steps, not selling dreams. There's a difference between being sold a dream as opposed to very practical steps that you can see yourself doing. And I heard Jim Brown. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. And he talks about the daily doings, the small daily habits. You know, I can spend 5 hours chopping a tree, or I can chop a tree consistently every single day. And if I consistently stay hacking at that tree it will eventually fall. He talked about this concept of putting microwave in a popcorn. You know, I mean, putting popcorn in the microwave. If we put popcorn in the microwave and we open the door every 5 seconds, the popcorn won't pop. But if we let it stay in consistently, then, you know, then we'll get our desired result. So he broke it down to me in very practical steps. Then I started listening to Jim Rohn and Les Brown and Zig Ziglar and T.D. Jakes. And now, I've trained myself. This is my entertainment. This is what I love listening to. I love listening to motivational messages on a daily basis. I've seen the growth of my own personal life. I think once you experience the wins from a renewed mind, from a changed mental, you understand the value of strengthening your mind and your spirit with motivational speeches.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. You talked about Les Brown. Les Brown changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
He changed my life. Les Brown was a person who personally taught me how to overcome shyness, public speaking. So he is my mentor, my communication mentor, right? So he trained me in the area of public speaking. So I love that man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I used to be a very shy person, so shy that I couldn't even imagine myself doing what I do now, speaking in
Yeah.
front of a crowd. I used to always want to sit at the back of the classroom, sit at the back of
Mm-hmm.
a party, a hall, anywhere. But when Les Brown found me and a few others, right now, I always want to sit in front. I always want to speak. I
Mm-hmm.
am now microphone hungry, because
Instead
of
of
Les Brown.
microphone
So
afraid, yeah.
yeah, so he's a great guy, and to everybody who's listening right now, I want to encourage you, just like Dr. Standifer said, listen to people like Les Brown. Um, Listen to those people who can boost your confidence, your morale, who can help you transition from where you are to where you want to be. So thank you so much for sharing that. And how many books have you published in total till date?
So total, I think I'm on my fifth book. I think I'm on my fifth book. I've written some. So by trade, I'm a poet. I'm an avid poetry writer. I've been a part of this organization called Black on Black Rhymes since 2009, and they're big on taking your talents and using your talents to make a profit off your own skill set. So I published 5 books. I have 2 poetry albums out, and now for the past couple of years, I've been transitioning into the keynote speaking space and in the training space. And I love the work that I do. I love to get to serve people with my skill sets, my talents, most importantly, my testimony, and showing other people how to take their pain and turn it into power. So to answer your question, 5 books and counting. I have 2 books that will be published in 2025. They're already written. I'm just waiting to publish them.
Wow, congratulations. You're doing big things. You're doing amazing things, and keep shining your light. The
Mhm.
world needs more people like yourself more than ever before. So keep doing what you do. We appreciate you.
That's the goal.
And yeah, can you share share some of the biggest challenges you faced in your writing journey and how you overcame them?
Mm. I think the biggest challenges in the writing journey is experiencing life that inspires the words that you need to write. This book, it details my journey of being a full-time single father, 2 kids, and how I earned a PhD after a nasty divorce, and after the death of both of my parents. Um, so experiencing those tragedies, that trauma, it was like I'm writing my story with tears falling on my pages. And I had to take that pain and turn it into power, and I had to really really tap in within myself to say, okay, cool. Okay, now take this pain, channel it, turn it into power. Use your test and turn it into a testimony, because there's people out there who need to hear your story, who need to hear your journey of single fatherhood, and how you use your children as motivation to keep pushing and to keep fighting, and how despite your parents passing away, you use that pain to push through the finish line. Those were the hardest moments in constructing this book. Now, now the hardest part is um, now the hardest part is understanding that if you really, truly, wholeheartedly want to tell your story, it's a business. It's a business. You have to sell your story. You have to be able to persuade people to let you use their stage to share your story with people to impact other people. And then you also want to do it in a way where you're not getting burnt out. So you have to earn a profit from your passion. So those are the hardest things. From a person who's genuinely a servant, I'm a true servant. I believe in serving people. I don't believe, I believe in serving people. However, as a father, as a person who understands that the world revolves around resources, you have to be compensated for your gifts and your talents in order to make your message bigger than what it is.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing it. And yes, 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 yes. Sometimes we could find it challenging to, have access to those platforms that genuinely need to have access to our materials. I was talking to somebody like a few days ago that I was telling her that sometimes when people tell me that they purchased my book on Amazon, it does not really get me excited because buying the book is one thing, but having them study the book is another thing,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes, as authors, it could be challenging to wrap our heads around the best strategies to make sure people buy and read. Is that correct?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
want to when you publish a book, you write it to serve people. You write your book to serve mankind and womankind, and you want people to be moved and impacted by your words. So you got to get it in front of them, and in order to get it in front of them, you need resources and energy and power and purpose behind getting your journey in front of other people so they can be impacted in a positive way.
Right. Right. Thank you so much for sharing that. So that takes me to my next question. Um, how has your writing process evolved over time? And what have you learned about yourself as a writer along the way?
Oh, I think I think the hardest part of learning that you are a writer is to publish your first document, you publish your first manuscript. I think the first one is the scariest one. When you're like, I want it to be perfect. What if people don't like it? What if people, don't resonate with it? What if it's a lot of errors? All that stuff, all these doubts, negativity, negative thoughts come into your mind when you publish your first. And then after you publish your first one, you get the confidence to improve on your work and make it better. And then you also develop this concept of developing a writing schedule. When I was getting my PhD, that's my dissertation was 178 pages. I developed this mantra: 1 page a day. 1 page a day. If I can wake up and stay consistent on writing 1 page a day, then I would eventually reach my goal. But the beauty in it is, once you get into the zone of things, it becomes more than 1 page a day. You're like, oh man, I'm in the zone right now. I got a few extra, I got a little bit more energy where I can push through. So, staying consistent and doing the daily disciplines of writing every single day. If you want to write a book, all you got to do is write 1 page a day. And 1 page a day is easy to do, but 1 page a day is also easy not to do. It's always easy and hard
Yes.
to do that small, minute thing.
Mm, it's like that. And they say if you want to get rid of they say if you get rid of the enemy within, the enemy from outside can do us no harm. And
Mm,
some of the enemies within are procrastination. Procrastination is one of the biggest enemy from within. And like you said, sometimes those little things could be the most challenging things to do due to
mhm,
procrastination. You know, people have abandoned their dreams as a result of procrastination,
mhm.
right? Or as a result of not wanting to go beyond their comfort zone. Is that correct?
That is correct. I think
Mm.
people fall victim to low hanging fruit. We like cheap entertainment. We like cheap dopamine rushes. It's real easy to turn on the TV instead of writing that 1 page. It's really easy to go party and have friend and go out hanging out with your friends instead of staying committed to the goal that you set forth. And that's why I think it's valuable for us to have goals, because if you have a goal and you're not putting action towards your goal, then you know that there's a distraction there. You know that there's a disconnect. But if you have a goal, okay, cool, my goal is to whatever that goal is, you know that you need to break that goal down into many goals for you can do a daily actions every single day to make adequate progress towards that one goal.
Yep, that's right. Thank you so much for sharing. And so, what role do you think community or feedback from readers and other writers has played in your development as an author?
So I'm real big on this concept of masterminds. And a mastermind is simply a think tank. It's a group of people. We come together to brainstorm around a central topic. And, I like to juxtapose it to this concept that, four brains are better than one. If we were talking about the Avengers, Tony Stark by himself was amazing. The Hulk by himself was amazing. Black Panther by himself was amazing. But when they came together, they took on the task of saving the world. So when you have a think tank of authors, of readers, of critiquers who can say, cool, this is what we need to do, this is how you need to do it, make these changes. What about this idea? It makes you better. Most time we are afraid to hang around people who are smarter than us. And once we can get past that concept, I love to have smart people in my room. I love to have smart people in my circle. If I'm the smartest person in the room, then it feeds my ego, but it steals away from my future. But if I humble myself and I create opportunities to be around people who know more than me, I can translate that newfound knowledge, that newfound wisdom into impact, into service, into finances. I can change that I can directly channel their new wisdom into benefit in my life and the life of those that I serve.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much for sharing. And
Mm.
looking back on your journey, now this will be the part where I would want you to encourage or inspire that aspiring author, that young man or woman or man or woman who is thinking of writing a book, but for some reasons they've not been, inspired to do it. So looking back on your journey, what advice would you give to aspiring writers who are just starting out?
So for new writers, for rookie writers, I want to encourage you to understand the fact that you do have a story. And again, I mentioned this earlier, but you need to take your test and turn your test into a testimony. There's other people who are inspired by your journey, by your testimony. You know, when I saw when I saw that my friends were encouraged by the fact that I was a full-time single dad and my children were learning how to read at 3 and they were solving Rubik's cubes at 6 and playing chess by 3 and all these remarkable things. My male friends were like, hey man, I thought being a daddy was just showing up and paying the bills. I didn't know that dad's supposed to be this involved, and I see that you're doing it by yourself. That means it is possible and it can be done. So when they started telling me these things, I said, okay, I need to tell this story because there's other men out there who think that their role as a father is limited to providing. It's not. It doesn't overflow into the realm of teaching your kids early. Most times we relegate that to mother work as opposed to dads being involved. So I said I need to tell my story to improve the quality of dads around the world. Whoever understands my story as a full-time single dad, they will know. So, you have a unique story that makes your story worth hearing, worth sharing, and there are people who will be inspired. You told me that you flunked out of school and went back and got your PhD. You know, people don't think that it's possible until they see somebody who flunked out of school, went back and did it.
That's true. And that's where mentorship comes in because
Mhm.
um, mentors are people who have already been through, you know, a certain side of life and now giving back. So what we do inspires others. And like you said, everybody has a story. When things happen to us, we should see it as a blessing. Like I always say, things don't happen to us, but things happen for us. Why? So we can be stronger, wiser, and better. So everybody has a story, and it is very important for us to know that the challenges we've been through. It's always for a reason. God allows us go through those challenges because he knows that we are stronger than those coming behind us. So
Hmm.
he allows us take the lead so that we can guide the weaker ones behind us.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
thank you so much, Dr. Standifer, for taking time off your busy schedule. I hope when next we invite you, you will be willing to come and share some words of inspiration with our audience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course, man. I greatly appreciate the platform that you have created. And it's always an honor, privilege, and pleasure to see servants willing to serve mankind and womankind and use their platforms to spread a message of positivity and grit and resilience.
Thank you so much. That's all we do. That's all we know how to do. And that's what we will be doing till the end of time.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You know, they say whatever has a beginning will surely have an end. It is that time. And we are excited to share some amazing ways for you to stay connected with our mission and continue to grow together. So, whether through donations, inspirational resources, or becoming a part of our community, your support and engagement means the world to us. Now, here's how you can get involved with what we do. First, you can support our mission and help us continue uplifting lives by making a donation. Um, if you feel that what we do is impactful or has impacted you positively in any way, shape, or form, your generosity would allow us keep spreading hope. We encourage you to, support with a donation. Nothing is too small. And if you want to make a donation today, visit our website www.johnugulu.com, www.johnughulu.com. Contact information is right there for you. And secondly, you can go to our website and get some inspirational books right there. Click on johnugulu.com, go to resources, and you would find inspirational books. Thirdly, you can tune in to our latest episodes, the podcast episodes, where we share powerful messages of hope, resilience, and personal growth, just like we have just done now. Listen to these podcasts and let the words lift your spirit. Lastly, you can become a part of our growing community where we uplift and inspire one another every day. So subscribe today. It's $10 monthly. Subscribe today and receive exclusive content, daily motivation, and access to our special events. If you want to subscribe, go to the same website, johnugulu.com, click on services, and you would see the subscription link for you. Thank you once again for being a part of this journey with us. Together, we can continue to make a lasting impact and spread positivity in all we do. I don't know who's listening to us right now. I don't know where you're listening to us from. We're global, so I know people are listening from all parts of the world, but I don't know where you, in particular, yes, you who's listening to me, I don't know where you're listening from. I don't know what you know about yourself. Neither do I know what the people around you know about you. But here is one thing that I know for sure about you. I know you have greatness within you. I know you have all it takes to transition from where you are to where you want to be. I know you have all it takes to become a better version of yourself. And remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Stay blessed, everybody, and bye for now. Thank you once again, Dr. Standifer.
Yes, sir. Y'all be great like the lakes. Y'all be blessed like a sneeze. Peace and blessings, love and light.
Bye for now, everybody.